Man, I'm back at you after game 3 of the NFL preseason between the Eagles and the Ravens. A lot of things to talk about after this game. I'm going to make it real brief and get straight to the point. First things first, we had a lightning delay that ended up ending the game early with 11 minutes and 43 seconds left in the game, but that's neither here nor there. The big headline story of tonight's game was Josh McCown. Came out looking like Joe Montana. Matter of fact, came out looking like Peyton Manning, making adjustments at the line, getting into the right calls and the right looks, and just sitting back there in the pocket and just slinging it. I was highly impressed with Josh McCown, and he really made a strong case for himself to be the number two to Carson Wentz. Really showed me a lot tonight. The stat line on this guy, he was unconscious tonight. Josh McCown, what was his stats? He went 17 for 24, 192 yards, 2 TDs, including one really good one off his back foot with pressure in his face. And he had a QB rating of 122.2, if I'm correct. Highly impressive. Very impressive. He looked like a starter playing against backup players. He really did. I was highly impressed. Secondly, I was highly impressed with the offensive line, the starters and the backups. I was highly impressed with Jordan Mailata, but even more so Dillard. He really has continued to have a spectacular preseason and really show you what the Eagles saw in him from a pass protector's standpoint. He really just looks natural back there. I mean, if I'm in that coaching room, if I'm Doug Peterson, if I'm the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, in my mind, this guy, even though he is a rookie, he's already a starter caliber type player. He really is, because he's so polished in pass protection, and that's exactly what you want in case Jason Peters goes down, or a year from now when Jason Peters is most likely not with us anymore on this team. You want to have somebody that's able to step in, bang, like he's able to pick up right where Peters left off in terms of protecting Wentz's blind side, because that's the money. That's the franchise. You don't want him getting hit, blindsided and being taken out for the year. So I was highly impressed with Dillard, Mailata, the rest of the line. Malu starting at right guard looked very good, very natural. And there was one play. No. It might have been Vitae, if I'm correct. I think Vitae might have been starting at right guard. And there was one play earlier in the game, I can't remember if it was first or second quarter, where they ran I believe it was a toss to Corey Clement maybe. And I think it was Corey Clement. And he pulled and he executed a pull block and executed it so well. He caught the secondary defender coming down into the box and just caught him just perfect. And Corey Clement ran for a gain of, I believe, 8 or 9 yards. And those little things, that's exactly what I want to see from this offense. We didn't see too much of the starters. Zach Ertz, he looked good in the limited time he was in there. Didn't see too much from Deshaun. There was a slight overthrow on an out route from Cody Kessler. Cody Kessler did not look good at all. Did not do himself any favors for honestly even making this team. And this was his game to really audition for other teams right now, because Josh McCown, he's going to be the number 2 quarterback. Nate Sudfeld is going to be the number 3 quarterback, in my opinion, when he comes back behind McCown. And then there's really no room for Kessler, so he really did not have a good account of himself tonight. He had one play where he threw a screen pass behind the line of scrimmage to Corey Clement, and luckily Corey was able to get possession of the ball. It could have turned real ugly real quick. Can't do those things. Those are the things that make a coach scratch his head and say, man, I can't, you're a liability, son. Can't have you out on the field. So those are some of the things on offense that I saw. Like I said before, Josh McCown, and this might be a microcosm of his career. Sometimes he has games where you're like, man, he just looks like he's on. It's lights out. He's just hitting his receivers effortlessly. And then he'll have dry patches where he's just, where did that come from? How you making these mistakes? Like and maybe that's been the story of Nick Foles' career to a certain extent. You know, the inconsistency. But in the same breath of what we've seen from Nick Foles, I believe that if you put him in the right system, or more specifically in the right situation with the right coaches that will play to his strengths, I believe that he can not only be a serviceable quarterback, but a pretty damn good quarterback that can lead your team in the event that your starter goes down with injury. So I was really, man, I loved what I saw there. And then the second thing that I wanted to get to before I go to the defense was JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He looked so damn polished out there. He was another guy that looked like he was a starter playing amongst backups. I mean, he had 8 catches, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. And that touchdown was a beautiful pass to the corner of the end zone over the shoulder catch. Looked just like he did at Stanford University. So, I mean, I really like what I saw from him. He had another catch over the middle where he had to adjust and reach back for the ball, stopped on a dime, turned, and then ran for another 12 to 15 yards. Highly impressive. So I think he's going to make a big impact this year. That's a sleeper pick if you guys are playing fantasy football or whatnot. That's somebody that might be a sleeper pick for like a flex play. Might want to pick him up. That's somebody, if you don't play fantasy sports or whatever, that's somebody to keep your eye open for once week 1 starts and we progress through this season. He's going to get incorporated into this offense in some really creative ways, especially in the red zone, because he's a big target with strong hands. And just watch. Now let's get to the defense. Saw some things I liked, saw some things I didn't like. The starters, they showed me good things. I really love seeing Brandon Graham just look like a healthy, explosive version of himself. He had one play where they tried to run a jet sweep. They tried to bring a receiver to the other side of the field and tried to run misdirection, and he shed his block. He got off of his key. His key would have told him to crash down the line and go after the quarterback, but instead he shed off his block and tackled the wide receiver on a jet sweep for a loss. That is exactly what you want to see. He's in mid-season form. Highly impressed, because the play before, or maybe 2 plays prior to that, the defense got caught by misdirection on the play fake. So for Brandon Graham to make that adjustment, that just lets me know that 1, he's healthy, and 2, mentally he's right where he needs to be, getting ready for the season to kick off. I really liked Malik Jackson and some of the things that he did. I liked the secondary. They seemed like they were playing good coverage. The backups, man, they need some work though. The backup cornerbacks need some work, son. They need some work. I don't know who 38 is, but you got to turn your head around for the ball, man. You can't you was getting used and abused out there, dog. You gotta do something, man. That's not the way to make the team. That's not the way to make the practice squad. You need to clean some things up. You really need to clean some things up. But all in all, what concerns me about the defense is some of the injuries going into the season. So, you have Nigel Bradham out with the hand injury. You don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. You have Kamu Grugier-Hill out with I believe it was the Liz Frank. No, not the Liz Frank injury. I forgot what injury he has, but he's going to be out for the first, I believe, 6 to 8 weeks of the season. So you're going to have some guys filling that linebacker to make up for that lack of depth. So that's a concern going into the season. I didn't really pay attention or really hear Jonathan Cyprian's name. That's somebody that I thought would be used in a hybrid role in some of those nickel packages. But, we'll see what they're going to do at linebacker. That's a question that I don't have the answer to, and I'd be curious to see what they're going to roll out come week 1 against the Redskins. We have to see who's going to be starting at cornerback between Rasul Douglas, Ronald Darby, and Sidney Jones. Who's going to be the 2 outside cornerbacks? It seems as though Avonte Maddox is going to be the starting nickel corner in the slot, but we don't know who the outside guys are going to be. I believe that Jalen Mills, I just think that Jim Schwartz has a penchant for Jalen Mills for whatever reason. He plays tough. He's mentally strong, even though he's not the most talented or gifted guy athletically. So we don't know who's going to start on the outside, but we know that, at least my opinion, they're deep at cornerback. So that's yet to be seen. But that defensive line, they're ready. They're hungry. They're looking, man. They are lions on the roam, just looking. They're apex predators right now. They're out there. They ready to eat. They hungry. Let the season start. Let's get through this last game. That's where I'm at with it. That's all I got for you guys right now. If you got any comments or questions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell. It's free. It's easy. It only takes 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, click that notification bell. See, it was easy. So you're notified for all my new videos for sports and music. And I will be dropping a video boxing related coming up soon, because there's a lot of big fights coming up and a lot of big news in boxing as well as talking about the Phillies. I try to keep it all Philly sports related around here. I do talk about other teams here and there, but I try to keep it, in the city of brotherly love for the most part, unless I'm talking about my Raiders. And I will be talking about Antonio Brown and the Helmet Gate saga. He's getting on my last nerve. But that's it for now. So I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.